Hi viewers. So I'm here with Mr. Norbert, the CEO of Enter Fashion. Welcome Norbert
Hello,
to the whole
Psych.
new
How are you
podcast
today?
of fast fashion leading to fast climate change. So how are you feeling today?
Well, I'm feeling alright, but usually, like before a podcast, I do a little bit of research, and going through the numbers and all those is still make me concerned because this this is like kind of ridiculous. I mean, we're talking about, I don't know, just the clothing industry itself. It's the second largest, one of the largest polluters in the world,
Mm-hmm.
just second largest to oil, to oil. You know what I mean? It's generally just responsible. I don't know, like 10% of global emission, just the industry itself, 20% of global wastewater, and produce, I don't know, like an easy 92 million tons of waste each year. Now, it's like if you're thinking about 92 millions of tons,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that's like a city each year, just like
Correct.
being
Correct.
created.
Correct.
It's it's massive. The market itself is just so big because I did a little just an interesting thing yesterday. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, taking the top five luxury brand, okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and saying, so the whole market, the whole fashion industry itself, it's worth like an approximate 1.55 trillion
Correct.
with a T, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So 1.55 trillion. Now imagine if you take all that money, right,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and put it back into somehow sustainable clothing and just like contribute it to the people. Now there's
Exactly.
8 billion people on earth, right? It's
Correct.
quite a lot, 8 billion. Now if you contribute that wealth to everyone, that will be 1.8 billion dollar per person. Just like imagine how would you feel if you will have like 1.8 billion? That would be nice.
Oh,
I mean,
correct. I'll change the
easy.
word.
Like
Of course.
honestly, like the whole problem will be so quick. Like you don't need what's that to think about like emissions and stuff because you will be able to solve every problem with that amount of money.
You're
Like
right.
oh, so yeah,
So
that would be
imagine
great. But
situation right now, like we are talking about climate change, we are talking about billions of emissions per ton every year, how to tackle it, offsetting the carbon. But in fact,
mm,
we are always wearing that fast fashion industry stuffs, and we are also like traveling everywhere with the flights, taking the flights, and we are doing what we are not supposed to do
yeah,
when we are talking about climate change. So it's a kind of paradox right now. We can say that people really are just talking but not taking the actions. I think we right now have to take the actions rather than just
yeah,
talk and just to make the planning for implementations. So
and,
you know what? Like we need to take action on climate crisis also in terms
mm,
of diversity, in terms of emissions everywhere. I think in every sector, fashion industry playing a vast vital role, right? So including the
yes,
transformations of fashion industry, clothing production releases at least billions of tons of carbon emissions, polluting
yes.
waterways, destroying ecosystems, and uh, sends truckloads to clothing, textiles, landfills, and incinerating every single second. So how climate change affecting the fast fashion industry and how the fashion industry is affecting the climate change? What do you say?
So the thing is, there's a lot of contradictory things because there's a fashion industry that's supposed to supply humanity with all the apparels. Now we're not just talking about like individuals. We're talking
Mm-hmm.
about governments, talking about big companies. There's
Correct.
generally like I don't know, small businesses. All these entities have the power to actually do something or change something, but as an individual, what can you really do is buy less and choose quality over quantity
Mm-hmm.
and invest in high quality pieces that will last rather than buying fast fashion that will quickly fall apart. Because the thing is, like, it's all nice and fun because I don't know, you go to a fast fashion store, buy, I don't know, a t-shirt for like 5-10 pounds,
Correct.
and it looks great, amazing design. Like I need to say that because they based on that price on the design. You actually don't pay for the clothing itself. It's dirt cheap. Their profit on that t-shirt is almost nothing. But
Nothing.
they need to charge for the design. If
Correct.
it's their own design, then fine. But when you see, I don't know, like a Disney pays and stuff like that, they need to pay for that company for that. And as an individual, you still need to choose sustainable brands. Now, obviously, like us, Enter Fashion, we're literally like carbon negative. So everything what we do is trying to help. But people think it's because so natural fibers and just like, for example, natural cotton.
Mm-hmm.
People think it's more expensive. It is, but it's actually better for you as well. So it's better for your skin. It's better for your just genuinely your body, because all those dyes, all those things that's in your clothing, it affects your
Correct.
skin anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, you need to educate others. Like you can repair and reuse clothing. I mean, we are the new generation of options when you can actually send back our used clothing and we will give you another one, which I
Amazing.
think it's much more sustainable than, okay, I don't want to take out sewers and just people who genuinely repairing clothing, because they're amazing. And you can see some DIY people who can make incredible clothing from your used clothes. And there's a massive business opportunity in there as well, because uh, just Stitch Flicks,
Mm-hmm.
like they reported like a growing earnings, and all these is actually like good for what's that, the climate. The the very uh, what we trying to achieve and what we looking for, which is very funny. So here's the thing, we trying to that's our goal for the end of 2025. We're trying
Correct.
to reach 10% of the population. So
Oh.
10% of the population of the world, if if this 10% of the population have only one t-shirt from us, right? One t-shirt, that would be equivalent, like it will be equal
Mm-hmm.
of taking off 1 million cars from the
Wow.
planet, just like
Wow.
gone. I mean, think about like 80 million people with one t-shirt will make much amount of impact than taking off 1 million car from the planet.
From the planet.
That's
And the
that's
emissions they're
like cleaning
making.
up Tokyo,
Correct. And the emissions
pretty
they're
much.
making, you can just, sway by accordingly. It's a
Yeah.
nice business proposal.
The
And in
so so
fact,
the,
when you say of the awareness, I think
mm,
awareness comes with a huge responsibility, because
yes,
right now
definitely.
people know that climate is changing. People really know how to tackle it, but they really don't know how to start. And in fact, many people are side by side also changing themselves to change the climate, but they don't know exactly what will be the outcome and how are they processing. So we have to find the social cost of carbon also, as you said that okay, we
Mm,
are like tackling the emissions, we have skin problems, we have health issues. So those health
yes.
issues and all the skin problems can be, if we can show the general public how much amount they can save on that as a social cost and benefits. I think this is the first
So
step we can take
that
for the awareness.
that will definitely vary. Depends on like how much people, let's say, spend on skincare, or how much like they need to spend on, for example, eczema. Now, eczema is when your skin dries up very
Correct.
very quick, and a lot of people having this issue. Some of my very very close friends actually having these problems, and they going for, let's say, sun therapy, the amount of money they spend on creams, and it's not just that. Like I'm not saying that natural cotton will solve your eczema.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunately not gonna, because you probably already have it. So, but it will be better for your skin, because if you, let's say, uh, you were wearing a fast fashion brand all of your life, I
Mm-hmm.
guarantee you that actually was a factor to that skin problem to escalate. It's just unfortunately like the truth. The thing is, right now, fast fashion is way much accessible and way much cheaper for a broad audience. It doesn't matter how much you earn, you will be able to afford that, because it's sometimes literally just couple pounds for buying a piece of clothing, and that's not right. The business model how they build this up is very unfortunate, because every time you get a receipt, that receipt says that they will take this fast fashion piece back, doesn't matter why. It's literally says on the receipt, if you say, oh, it's not my fashion choice, you have 30 days to go to that fashion store, buy your thing, go back and get refunded for the same amount of money. It's insane. Now at that point, like, you actually don't own anything, you just rent in a piece of clothing that will maybe stay with you, I don't know, for 2 weeks, but even after that 2 weeks is absolutely like unusable, because it just literally fallen apart. Uh, was that just a close experience I had. So one of my friend, I was in a funeral not long time ago, and one of my friend, he went on a quick a fast fashion store, right, well-known fast fashion store, and bought like a jacket. It's like
Kind of tuxedo or blazer. Yeah.
it is as close to tuxedo, but like more of like the general style.
Mm-hmm.
And so he bought that, and basically what's happened is the same day, just as he get home, right? He called me and he told me that he can't believe that, because I warned him, please don't like buy like a proper, go to the tailor, let them take your things. Okay, it will cost you a little bit more, so much more, definitely, at least, I don't know, 5 times of the price, but that will last you for the next 5 to 10 years, guaranteed. Now he gets home and he checks the inside pocket. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's already torn out
Okay.
already.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even he only put it on for literally to try on that if it's okay or not. That was it. And next day he can go back straight up, take it back, because he need to change it up. Now, if you are selling, so the vast majority is, you see everything in the stores, in a fast fashion store, everything that you see, that's only around 40%
Mm-hmm.
of the whole production, because 60% never made it to this shelf.
Yeah.
So I don't know, a good 30% was already like damaged, or had some kind of
Like I
problem
have
that they needed
really
to
like
throw
I
it.
have a pretty much good statistics on the same that you just stated. That
Okay.
60%, like it's near about 60% doesn't make to the shelf.
Yeah.
If you can say, the one reason why fast fashion exacerbates climate change is though, like, through climate and textile wastes. So whether the
Yeah.
clothes no fit
It's
or they are not in the
overproduction.
style exactly.
Overproduction.
Yes. So 57 of the whole production is discarded or unsold,
Yeah.
or used clothing ends up in landfill. So in United States alone contributes 14 million tons of clothing waste annually. Can you imagine? 14 million tons annually in US only. And of course, like, you can see that you really,
Yeah.
pinpointed a perfect reason why we are doing this as a human being, because human being has to follow a certain path, and we have to make abide rules. So being an
Yeah.
economist and being a policymaker, I really see that we have to, like, I think you know about the carbon price, right? So
Yes.
people generally say why the carbon price has to be implemented, why the carbon price has to be, put through every taxations, and why we have to, bear the cost of tax.
Yeah.
If you don't bear the cost, according to us, according to the economist, this is good for us, because of course, if you don't bear the cost, you don't know how much emissions you are making it.
Yeah.
So you are also a part of the emitter, and while you are emitting, you have to bear the cost, right?
Hmm.
So if this thing, the label in the bill, that okay, if things is not damaged or it's not in your style, just return it back and we will refund your money, or we'll just refund you some clothes, it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because of course people don't know how much emissions or how much responsible they are for the climate change right now, because they can just swipe it. They
Yeah.
don't have any liabilities right now. If we can put some taxations, or if we can put some rules and policies according the fast fashion, just to minimize the fast fashion, because of course people need to know what they are buying and what they are responsible for, right? So I think like
Definitely.
this, the damage that fashion is making to the environment can be minimized. What do you say?
I definitely believe it can be minimized. I mean, there's already the technology, the ways, the brands, like there's already, you know, place like functions on places. It just that one thing is like people need to educate each other about this, because okay, so let's say you go and buy a t-shirt for, I don't know, £10.
Mm-hmm.
That t-shirt will last you 2 weeks tops.
Yeah.
I guarantee.
Yes.
Now
Quality
you
wise.
might be wearing that for like, I don't know, a couple months, but it's like there's a time period when we think this is still fashionable, and there's a time period when we actually change that clothing and say I will only wear it at home,
Ah,
you
correct.
know,
Mm.
and you'll still wear it, no problem, but
You also replace that cloth with another cloth into the wardrobe.
exactly, yes.
And in fact, when you go
So
for one cloth, you'll definitely like to buy two or three clothes.
yes,
It's a
and
chain.
it's literally is, it just you know, all these is adds up, like generally per person, an average, we waste, I don't know, like almost 5 kilogram of clothing every
Correct.
year,
Mm-hmm.
like just generally, but even that is like from that 5 kilogram, almost 2 kilogram goes to landfills, guaranteed. Because if you wear your stocks and it gets a hole in it, you're not gonna send it away and actually like get it sued.
Mm-hmm.
You just throw it in the bin. You don't even thinking about that. That socks is actually gonna end up somewhere in the middle of, I don't know, the field, and it's like if you would send out someone to like an already kind of recovering landfill, okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so this is a very interesting thing, because if you send someone out for a recovering landfill and tell
Mm-hmm.
them, okay, go, here's a tree, I give you a tree, go plant it there, and they start to shovel, right, and on the first show, right, that will be that was that socks you throw out will like turn out from the ground straight up,
Oh.
and you'll be like so very surprised, like, yo, what was this doing here, like it takes decades for those synthetic clothing to actually degrade. This it's we talking about how I say this, like for let's say 92 million tons, okay, so let's say 100 million tons, so that 100 million tons every year, it's like we building like 5 cities, and those cities will be standing, I don't know, after your was that children even
Right.
left the planet.
The future
So
youth.
yes, it's like it won't be degrading in your lifetime. I guarantee. So why would you do that now? What would make us do it? It's simply ignorance. Because we like in this economy,
Mm-hmm.
like how can I expect anyone to come to us and buy a hoodie for 120 pounds,
Correct.
and it's nice, it's warm, you know, if anything happens to this, you can send it back to me, I will send you a new one for free,
Oh,
no
I can
problem.
vouch for this because, of course, I am wearing the same hoodie.
Yeah,
Thank you, Enter
you're very
for
welcome.
for sponsoring the uh, episode, and of course, like for the wardrobe, and it's amazing, really amazing. Like I can vouch for
Thank
that.
you.
The you can say the material is best.
It's great, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
it's really
sometimes
good.
I like to wear it without a t-shirt, you know, because it's just nice.
Exactly, it's really
But
nice.
so the thing is, it's like now you have one piece of eco-friendly clothing, right? A
Mm-hmm.
sustainable clothing. Now, if you build a whole wardrobe from that, you still have the daily problems and all that. That, oh, where's that hoodie? Oh, my girlfriend took it, etc., etc. Now, in the future, I would say like that will be solved as well, because right now, as a fashion brand, all what we can do is genuinely just give you a sustainable piece of fashion that you can even get for yourself if you want. You can upload your own design if you like, but what can you do with this is you can have it for a life. You can build an actual generational wealth with this, because why wouldn't you? So soon, this year we coming out with our mobile app, then you can be actually be able to make your own wardrobe. So what we're talking about is, imagine that when you think about your wardrobe, how many clothes in your wardrobe? Do you know the exact number?
Uncountable.
You have no
Never
idea,
counted.
don't you?
Never counted. Nah.
Do you know how many pair of socks you got? It's
Uh,
like at least five, right?
more than five. Yeah.
Yeah, more than five. Yeah. So it's this is like crazy because we don't even know how many clothes we got, right? And the first step in sustainable living should be building your wardrobe, because I think it was Steve Jobs. He didn't had a massive wardrobe. Like you
Yes.
could see this
Gray
guy with the
T-shirt.
same T-shirt every time, right? I guarantee that guy, I don't know, saved hundreds and thousands of carbon emission
Yes.
just by like wearing the same T-shirt. And it's not the one T-shirt, you know. He had like, I don't know, 5 or 10 of them,
Correct.
but the same design. Now I don't
In
I
fact, he
don't
also
telling
saved
you
his
to.
time, selecting what I will wear today and what will be the fashion statement for this party or this meeting or whatsoever. He
Yeah,
just saved his time also, and time equals to
literally,
money.
yeah, of course. But that's the thing. It's like, um to be honest, we men that doesn't have much of a problem with that, because you just pick up the first thing that you can find, pretty
Hmm.
much,
Yeah.
as soon as you trying to go out for something. But if you need to do something like particular and something, then you're like, oh, okay, I need to find this and that, right? And now you're already in trouble, because where did I put it? What was the
Correct.
last time I saw that piece?
Correct.
Now imagine if you can just see that in an app, that, oh yeah, that hoodie is in this wardrobe,
Hmm.
or how many, uh, even if you can just categorize that, oh yeah, I can see that I have one hoodie left and I need to wash another four. Yeah, now that will help a little bit,
Yeah. Like
because
time ahead of planning and scheduling the whole,
yeah, and
washing
even
time.
even save some water as well, because you can see all the clothing that you have.
Hmm.
Now, if you wash every day one shirt, that's with so much water that I can't even start to calculate that.
I can understand.
Now,
I can understand.
if you could manage to use every piece of clothing in your wardrobe, right?
Like, plan
And
properly so that, okay, you use every piece of clothing and you have one or two clothing left for wash day
yeah,
and the day afterwards. So you can
yeah,
wash all the clothes together and you can save the water, of course.
exactly. So even that is a good start to do this. But like in nowadays society, that just think about that for a second. So if you wanna recycle rubbish, okay, just rubbish, you're supposed to have 7 bins, 7 bins. Now, and top of that, you will have 7 bins, and top of that, you will need to go to your local government authority and
Council
check them out. What kind of what's that
color.
recycling plan they doing? If
Uh-huh.
do they do plastic recycling, or do they do like what's that waste food recycling or something? And you might have 7 bins, but maybe only 3 or 4 gonna be collected tops. So like it's not easy because the governments, the big businesses, just think about that. If every government on earth, we say, okay, let's come to me, okay, come to me, guys. I will supply each and every government, right, with t-shirts and hoodies. And from now on, if you go into a government placing, they will be in a hoodie and like, how you doing? So it's like
Of course.
this is somehow goes into the breaking the professional rules, okay? Because when you go into a business building or anything, everyone need to wear shirts. Everyone need to wear,
Mm.
suits. I mean, bro, like, no offense, but some people who starting that they can't even afford a suit, but you're telling them to
Correct.
buy a suit. So
Correct.
they gotta go again to the fashion store, buy a suit until they make enough money to buy a normal suit, and just waste all the way until they get to that point when they don't need to waste. Now they can afford that, and they can just replace the whole thing. And hey, look, here you get a t-shirt. As when you finished with it, then you give it back to us. We will send it back to the manufacturer. Boom. Like that will genuinely, I'm not saying to save the world, but will put the whole planet in a position when you can, now you have a little bit of wiggle place to, oh okay, now we can actually emit a little bit more for industries that they need to emit more, and we can still do this, and that will actually help. Because
No.
just
I mean, yeah, of course.
let's say everyone, just one government decides, okay, we're gonna supply our team with these t-shirt, these hoodies, and let's say we come to that decision that when we're doing an actual 1T 1 3,
Mm-hmm.
so we do promotions like, when you buy a t-shirt we will plant a tree, or you buy a t-shirt we collect 1 kilogram of plastic from ocean sites. Now if they decide on that particular day to join to us, that I mean that will be like a ridiculously fantastic effect, and that will help to move back that clock from 90 seconds
Mm-hmm.
from midnight,
Mm-hmm.
and actually not thinking about, oh yeah, we have 90 seconds, we're gonna all die.
Of course.
It's like, we never been so close to, what's that, Armageddon. And what's happening in the world is a reflect on that, because just the news from yesterday, let's say, in Turkey,
Sure.
the
Yes.
earthquakes,
That was really
like,
devastating.
yes, it's uh, unbelievable. In the same time, was that in like a 4.5 strength earthquake was in America too, and just like, yeah, we need to do something because the world is burning, and if we don't do it now, then later we won't have time to do that. I mean, just from yesterday news, it's like, what's that? Africa splitting in half. It's just a massive, what's that?
Earthquake.
Not just the earthquake, but just like a massive, what's that? Hole just opened up,
Hmm.
literally in a
And
massive
yeah, pulling up
kilometers
the
long
oils
line.
and this kind of stuff. Yeah, this is happening, right?
Yeah,
Since in Africa, and like the nation who are least responsible, basically, and they
yeah.
are paying the most out of it. So I think,
Yes,
like, of course,
unfortunately, yeah.
yeah. So we from the One Climate Club and Enter Fashion, like, really having a condolence for the situation that we have, and we are really really heartfully devastated about that. We
Yeah,
wish all the people out there to gather their strength. We are with you. We are the world is with you, and we will fight back. And please be safe, be strong. There, we are with you.
yeah,
So of course, like, about as you said about the water consumption and biggest consumer of water. So according to the UN Environment Program,
mm-hmm.
the fashion industry, is the second biggest consumer of water, and
Yeah,
is responsible for about 10% of global carbon emission, more than all international flights and maritime shipping cabinets. Can you imagine? So
yeah,
one T-shirt takes 7 gallon of water annually to make it. Can you imagine? Just one T-shirt. And
exactly.
if you say that, okay, we have to save water, we have to really, like, plan ahead how we will use those T-shirts, like, how we will wash it, how I will wear it, how I will replace it, and of course, like, at the end, how I will dump it or recycle it. So you have to make
Mm-hmm.
a whole plan for anything I buy, because if I'm providing something, anything into the world, it has consequences right now. Like, we all are
Yeah,
seeing the consequences, and these consequences will be gradually recurring and will be go increasing after and after. So we have to
yeah,
make really wise decisions, and really normal, but in a smart way, to invest in every sector, because those investments has their own output, and those outputs are not just for me. The output will devastate all of us. So according to me, and according to this podcast, I can recapitulate all the information that right now we have to step ahead, minimize the fast fashion. Whatever we buy, we have to buy in a manner that we know that this product is gonna be staying for me for a lifetime. By means, like, how I will recycle it, how I will use it, how I will plan it, and this product is just a byproduct of many things, like water. How are you using water? How are you using my health cares? How are you using my wardrobe? Everything comes around. So it's kind of tree. So I think we have to plan ahead, and we have to move ahead with the climate crisis. And I think if together plan, we can do it.
definitely. I mean, we're trying to make that even simpler. Just connect the whole fashion thing to technology, so it will be more appealing for younger generation. But we're trying to reach the older generation as well, especially with the plan with this generation wealth building program, because like if right now if you have fast fashion, you didn't get some to nothing,
Correct.
but with sustainable and eco-friendly fashion you actually getting rewarded for it. So yes, at the moment it costs more. Yes, it's more appealing for a lot of people to choose fast fashion,
Mm-hmm.
but we need to compromise. Like you need to compromise on, okay, I'm gonna pay a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
so I will actually have a clothing for the next 10 years. Because if you say, oh no, I will just buy this quick and look good tonight, that that's not just take a lot of money out of your pocket, but actually destroying the planet. It's like when you see someone with a fancy outfit, just think about that. Was it sustainable clothing or was it just a fast fashion piece?
Correct.
And you will like look at that person so much differently, because that might be the one and only time when you see that piece on that person. instead
Correct.
of actually making a signature piece for yourself. It's crazy. Like the
It
whole
is. It
whole
is.
humanity is, you know.
It is. Like right now, we have to step ahead, and I think, like as we are empowering the youth, as we are right now stepping forward
Hmm.
to tackle all the things, and we are questioning the government, we are questioning each and every person who are investing and who are responsible for every changes in the lifetime. So of course, I think we can make change, and awareness is the main key, and educating people is the most important part, right, that we have to go through.
Yes,
And doing this sort of podcast, bringing a guest, special guests like you, to make our audience aware of what is going on. So, like it's a vast change for everyone, and thanks to the entire, team of Enter Fashion. Thanks to the entire team of One Climate Club, so that
thank you so
they
much.
made it. Yeah, of course. And I believe that this podcast will have the second session also with you, because we have a lot of
Hmm.
things to discuss. And of course, as we have much less time in our hand, I will wrap up this session with one saying that, of course, fast fashion leads to fast climate change. Think
Definitely
it
yes.
and decide it. The choice is in your hands. And of course, we are tackling a huge responsibility right now, the climate crisis. And I think nothing much more important than climate right now. So, whatever you decide, decide wisely.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. It was a
Oh,
pleasure.
it was really amazing to talk with you, and looking ahead and looking forward for the second session also.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yep. Thank you, Andrew Fashion. Thank you, One Climate Club.